What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Got something exciting for you today. We're going to set up my new Mathews Traverse. I am stoked about this thing. It is 29 inches, 70 pounds. This is going to be my hunting bow for this year. I got the TRX 38 during target season this year and I absolutely loved it. So I wanted to go ahead and get another Mathews. That way I'm shooting the same cam system basically for both 3D and hunting. So we're going to get this bad boy set up today. Got my vise installed and I'm going to go through this step by step with you how I set up a bow. So the first thing we're going to do with this bad boy is we're going to put the side plates on. So literally just going to grab this grip and rip it off. That's simple. We're going to take it off and now we got to get all this goo off the grip. Just going to basically use your fingers, get as much of this goo off as you can, and then our new side plates are going to come with an alcohol wipe. You're going to clean it up real good before you put them on and we should be good to go. So after we got most of the glue, almost all the glue off of this thing, I'm just going to set my bow in the vise. And then we are going to use the alcohol wipe to get it clean, and I'll show y'all how we're going to install this new grip. So here's what we're installing. This is the new Mathews side plates for all their 2019 bows. This is literally all it is, two little pieces of plastic, but this one gives you enough of a shelf so that you're not just using the riser, but pretty simple. I'll show you how to install it. We're going to clean the glue off this first, and then we're going to clean both the grips and my bow with the alcohol wipe. So we're going to take our alcohol wipe, we are going to clean the sides of this bow real good. Also going to clean the side plates real good, get all that glue off. Alright, now let me take this camera off the tripod and I'll show you how to put these things on. Alright, so here is what your kit comes with. This is the glue that is going to put your grips on. So basically, we're going to just take this one, we're going to peel the back first. We're going to see which direction it goes. So it goes this way. So we're going to peel this white side first. And then we're literally just going to stick this where it needs to go on the grip. Just like that. Now we're going to pull this part off. We're going to take our side plates. And it's got holes where you just can put them right where they're supposed to be. Stick it on tight. That side is done. Okay, now we're going to do the same to the other side. We're basically just going to see which way this thing goes, and then we're going to stick it on. It'll go just like this. So we're going to pull that white part off, stick that on, and then stick the other piece on. And this doesn't really have to be perfect. Pull that off so the glue's on there. And we're going to take this one, fit it in there, squeeze it down, and the side plates are done. Alright guys, I almost forgot the most important thing of setting up any new bow. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take a razor blade. We're going to go right here behind the rest and we're going to make a scratch on it. Because now it's not a new bow anymore. And now we can treat it like a bow and not worry about scratching it up. So let's show you. This is super important. Look. See? Got a scratch right there. It'll focus. See, there we go. It's got a scratch on it now. It's not new anymore. Now we don't have to treat it like it is. Alright guys, so this year I'm going to run the same Hamsky Hunter that I've ran for the last 2.5, 3 years. Basically every accessory on my bow has been the same for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't really change that at all. I just change bows. We're just going to mount this thing, eyeball it to get it straight. Alright, so we got this thing mounted, got it straight, just eyeballing it. We tightened it down real good. Now, I'm actually going to use an AAE limb clamp that I got a few months back for a prime that I was shooting, but this thing actually fits the Mathews also. And I really like the way this holds my cable for my rest on the limb rather than tying it. I feel like this is a little more reliable. And so we're going to put this a little bit back from where the edge of the cam is. Alright, so when I install this limb clamp, You can see where the front of the cam is right here. I'm gonna go just a little back from that, basically right here over where the American flag is there. We're just gonna put this thing on there and start tightening it up. All right, so we're just gonna tighten this to where it has even pressure on both sides. You don't want one side real tight, one side loose. Just gonna snug it down. I don't wanna tighten it too much because I don't want to risk, you know, fracturing one of the fibers on this limb or something. So we're just gonna tighten it snug, get it good and tight, and then we're gonna attach our cord to our rest. All right, so whenever I use one of these clamps, I like to tie a knot in the end of my loop material. And then I like to pull it to where the knot is against the clamp, and then just go ahead and tighten it on down. So I'm using this new Hamskea tension system that they came out with, and you can see here it's just kind of like a football elongated shaped wedge basically. And so all you do is just pull that thing down tight, and then you just slide this O-ring up on it, and that keeps your tension tight. And you can get this thing real tight this way. It works way better than the old clamp in my opinion. And that's it, that thing is tight. If you need to loosen it, just pull it up, you know, for setting this bow up, because I'm about to have the rest up. So this little tension system works awesome. All right guys, so the next step is I'm gonna find my string level, get it level, and I honestly just eyeball this. I don't get too crazy into making sure that I have a bunch of levels on it and all that. I have eyeballed it forever and it works, and you're gonna tune it anyway. So as long as you get it through the burger hole when you're eyeballing it, you're good until you throw it in paper. So I don't know if you can see this, but just eyeballing it right now, that is pretty dang close actually. That is right through the center of the burger button hole. If you're looking at it level, that's real close. All right guys, I guess just for video's sake, we're gonna go ahead and throw a level on here just to show you how to do it. But basically, you're just gonna put it in your vise. You're gonna get this thing level, get your string level, which is actually harder than you would think. Since I lost my level that clips on my arrow, I'm just gonna use a regular old level. And just make sure that it's not putting pressure down on the rest. And that's pretty dang good right there, I'll be honest. Okay, so now that we got it all leveled, I'm gonna tighten up this D-loop material right here. And you can do this one of two ways. You can either tie 2 knock sets and put your D-loop on each side of it, or you can tie just one single knock set on the bottom side. And I kind of go back and forth. I have done both. Setting up this bow, I think I want to go back to trying just 1 knock set under. And so that is what we're going to do on this one. So we're going to get our 3D serving material. We're going to get a piece plenty long, and then we are going to put our arrow back on here. And now what we're going to do to tie our knock set is I'm going to do double overhand knots starting down, and I'm going to do it just below the knock. I want it to be touching, but I don't want it to be squishing this knock up against that D-loop. And we're going to do 8 ties. So we're going to go down, and then we're going to go back up on this side, and we're going to do that 8 times. And on the 8th one, I'm actually going to tie a single overhand knot, and I'm going to let it kind of sandwich in between my last piece of serving material and cinch it down in there. Then I'm just going to tie a square knot, tighten it down real good, and then I'm going to burn my tag ends. And there our knock set is tied. Okay guys, so next, got my handy dandy loop tool, and I want this loop to be somewhere between 3/4 and 7/8 inches. So the way I do it is I just go in here and I loosely tie my knot. And this is just something that I have learned. And basically I want to make it an 1/8 of an inch or so smaller than I want it to finish out. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my loop right about there. I'm going to fluff it up real big, and I'm going to use kind of the flame but kind of indirect heat to burn this down. And I've seen a lot of guys that like smash them and stuff, but I like leaving them a big ball on the end. Not a ball, but kind of like a flattened ball, because I've never once had a loop slip doing it this way, and so that's just how I do it. Now I'm going to let that cool off for a second so that I don't mess up my little flat ball that I've made. And we're going to get our loop pliers out. We're going to go the opposite direction that I went with the first D loop. We'll tighten it down. Let's see how long that is. That should be about 7/8. Look at that. Hold on. I gotta show you this, guys. This is probably because I've tied entirely too many loops. Okay, so we have our loop tied. Now we can put our peep in this bad boy. Alright guys, it is now time to put in our peep, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I actually have this marked on my D-loop tool. I actually have where my peeps are typically marked on this thing, and so all I have to do for right now is to just press this bow. They've got a little separator in here so that you know where the center of the string is. Peep in there, looks about right. And I actually leave this little separator in here. What I do is I just let it work its way up the string all the way till it's almost at my serving, and I just leave it in here because it's not going to hurt anything, and you'll always have that in the center of your string just in case something was to happen, peep was to fall out, something like that. So our peep is turned to the left just a hair. I'm going to throw one twist in the string, straighten that out. And guys, I will tell y'all something that you must do. Is anytime you press a bow, be sure to pull this string up really good before you actually let your press out, because that's going to make sure all your cables are tight and everything, and it's going to make sure that you're on all the posts. That way you don't accidentally blow up a bow, because I've done that before and it's not fun. So my peep is straight now, and we aren't going to tie it in yet because I want to make sure that it's where I want it to be before I tie it in. But we're not going to shoot it until it's tied in. Never shoot a bow with a peep that's not tied in. That is not good. I have heard of guys that have lost eyes by doing that, have a peep come out of the string, hit the riser, bounce back in their eye. It's not a good thing. So one thing you can do to double check, make 100% your peep is where you need it, is you can take your bow and draw it back, close your eyes and come to anchor, and then when you open your eyes you should be seeing directly through your peep. So just going to draw back, come to anchor, close my eyes, and then open them. And I'll be honest, that is pretty dang close right there. So now that we got this peep where we want it, we can tie it in, and then we'll be able to put this thing in a draw board, make sure our cams are timed, and we should be ready to shoot. So I'm going to take our same serving material that we used to tie in our knocking point down here, and I'm going to get a pretty long piece this time, and we're going to tie our peep in. So we're going to do this just like Levi Morgan does it. I don't always do this to my bows because if you ever have to move a peep, it kind of makes it a pain in the butt, but we're going to do it. So we're going to slide that up a little bit. We're going to go through the string and actually slide it up. We're going to make one wrap, and then we're going to lay our tag end down here along the string, and then we're going to start wrapping over our tag end. We're going to go 10 wraps, then 2 more wraps after we pull the tag end up, and then we're going to start going through the string here, and we're just going to make a few loops through here down the side of one side of the string. We're going to pull that and kind of get it up under the peep actually, and then we're going to wrap it around this peep twice, pull it pretty tight, and then we can come back up under, and we can pull it up under that. So it's going to actually wedge into your peep right there. Then we're going to do the same thing on this, 4 twists through this one side. And then I'm going to do two twists around the whole string, and then I'm going to back serve it 10 twists. So that way it'll be identical to the top. Now we're going to take our knocking pliers. We're going to cinch up both sides, tighten it up. Then we are going to burn off both tag ends. Make sure anytime you burn, you're going from the top. And there we have it. We have our knock set put on here. We have our peep tied, and we're good to go. Got the peep tied in. Look how clean that looks. Then we got our D-loop, if it'll focus. Our D-loop tied in with our bottom knocking point. Now we got to take these things off. They're worthless. Okay guys, so I'm not a fan of these monkey tails. I'm not really a fan of any kind of a silencer, bowstring silencer, anything like that. So I'll be honest with you, I just cut these things off. I feel like they are something that can break at an inopportune time. And if that happens, that is not good when you're on the side of the mountain, because it can change some stuff. And so literally, as soon as I get this bow, the old monkey tails are coming off. I have no need for them. Cut them off, pull them off. Now we don't have to worry about them wearing out on us. We don't have to deal with them ever again. So the next thing I'm going to do here before I put this thing in my draw board is I'm actually going to take some tennis grip tape, and I'm going to wrap this grip up. I do this for a couple of reasons. You know, the main reason is it just feels really good in my hand, and I don't have to worry about the bow slipping or anything. But I also like it on there due to the fact that it keeps my riser from getting all scratched up on my my draw board. That's a part of my riser that I really don't want getting scratched up. It's where I'm going to be gripping the bow. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this thing on there before I put it in my draw board. And then we're going to put it in the draw board. We're going to make sure the cams are in time. And then we're going to throw all our accessories on this bad boy. Alright guys, so now I got the grip tape put on. I got my rest put on. I got my loop. My peeps tied in. Now we're going to check the timing of this bow. I'm going to put it here on my draw board. I believe this is an archery design draw board, and it fits right here in the last chance presses. This draw board doesn't work really great for like measuring your draw length and stuff. I actually have a different board that I use for that, but it works really good for checking cam timing, all that good stuff. I'm just going to give it one more look over, make sure everything's on like it's supposed to be, and we'll draw this thing back. It's actually going to be really close. So one cool thing about these draw boards that go on a last chance press is you can micro adjust with the press itself. Okay, so the bottom stop is hitting about one twist before the top stop. So now we're going to stick this thing back in the press, and we are going to take one twist out of the top control cable. If the bottom is hitting first, you could either add one twist to the bottom cable or take one twist out of the top. I've got this thing twisted up pretty good as it is, so we're going to take one twist out of this top cable. Now we're going to put it back here on the draw board. We're going to double check it again, and I bet you it is right on this time. So we took a half twist out of the top, and we're going to put this thing back in the draw board, see how it looks. We should be good to go. Alright, so we finally got this thing timed. I was like a quarter twist off, which you can't twist a cable a quarter. You either have to do a half twist or a full twist. But after a little tinkering, we got this thing to where it is timed perfectly. Now the only thing left to do is to put all of our sights and stabilizers, all that good stuff on here. So stay tuned, we'll get this thing put together. Alright guys, we got this thing put together. I didn't want to bore you with putting on my stabilizers, all that good stuff, but here it is, my 2019 Traverse. We got 70 pounds, 29 inches. I've got atomic rod stabilizers. I'm running 12 inches out front, 10 inches out back. I got a tight spot quiver, and I'm going back to old trusty. My Hogfather 4-pin, I can run that thing 20, 30, 40, 50, and I got the slider to shoot out to 100, 110, however far I need to shoot. But this thing feels amazing in the hand. I think for whitetail season, I'm going to pair it with some 300 spine axis arrows that have a 50 grain brass insert and a 25 grain iron will footer on it. I think that will be perfect for hunting whitetail here in Texas. Probably going to be perfect for hunting elk next year too. But I am loving this thing, guys. I'm going to do another video tuning it, getting it shooting really good, sighting it in, all that good stuff. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. This thing's sweet.